So she says, for good or bad, we're not alone with our conflicted relationship with Valentine's Day. And Simone Holder, our first storyteller, has some thoughts on this. Simone is a stand-up comic in Ottawa. And in her pitch, she says she does have a love-hate relationship with Valentine's Day, her whole life being known as the always single friend. Valentine's Day riddles her with self-doubt, insecurity, rage, and sadness. She has yet to have a nice Valentine's Day. So I'm sorry.
It's very sad.
I just ignore it personally. So she's going to share her story tonight to let others know that they're not alone in their hatred, and then we can laugh about it together. Please help me welcome Simone Holder.
Hi everyone, thank you very much. This is a very weird position for me because I usually do stand-up and I can't see the audience because it's usually dark and I'm squinting. And it's weird having all these eyeballs on me right now. So yeah, I have never liked Valentine's Day. It's always been very stressful, very, I guess, rage-inducing is a term I would use. And most of it is because I'm always, or usually always, the perennially single friend. And I know that, people who care for me and love me, it's coming from a good place where it's like, oh, you're independent and you're doing so well, you don't need a guy, and it's like, no, I don't, I just want one, which is different. And, but I think what keeps me going, or kind of keeps me positive in quotations, is the fact that I've been in the situation where you've been with somebody and you feel more alone than if you were really on your own, and I think that's a worse place to be. To be with someone who, maybe doesn't really want to be there, but you don't know why they're still there and you don't know why you're still there, sort of thing. And so I've tried to just sort of brush it off with, at least, I'm alone with myself and I'm not alone with somebody. But that being said, like Kate said in the intro, I've never had a good one. I can't think off the top of my head of like, oh yeah, that was a great Valentine's Day. I can think of bad ones, not so good ones, horrible ones, and ironically, the most horrible ones have been the ones where I've been with someone versus the ones where I was alone. Where there was the one about, 15 years ago when I was living in Toronto, and we had just started dating. We'd probably been dating about 2 or 3 months, and Valentine's Day, Saturday night or something, and I brought him a present and he got me nothing. He was just like, oh, thanks, and left it at that, and I was just like, but I kept going out with him. I don't know, I stayed, but yeah, from that relationship I never got one present at all, not a birthday present, not a Christmas present. He always managed to find a way to distance himself from me right before a major holiday, So yeah, I caught on and then I left. So, and then there was the one when I was married. I was married 100 years ago, and it was our first Valentine's Day as a married couple, and he came home from work with these beautiful flowers and said, hey, I got these on sale, and sort of tossed them at me. And I remember just seeing these flowers come at me, and I just stepped to the side and let them crash on the floor, because I was like, you don't throw flowers at me. You don't throw them. And he's like, oh, what's the matter? I brought you nice flowers. I'm like, and then you drop kick them at me. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I know it's like the rage. I guess rage is a little extreme for the emotion that I'm feeling. It's I guess it's like a really intense sadness when it comes to that, because I remember a few years ago at work, some of the ladies complaining that like the day after, I almost said Thanksgiving, but the day after Valentine's Day, that their husband or their boyfriend didn't get them the right kind of flowers, or the right kind of chocolate, or the right kind of this, or the right kind of that. And I wanted to be like, you stupid bitches, just shut the hell up. You you had a Valentine's Day. So he got you, you know, white roses instead of red ones. You know, like who cares? You know, but of course I didn't say that. I said that inside. I used my inside voice for that. So I guess it's just stuff like that you see, and then also just the fact that, you know, it's a manufactured holiday. We all know that, and like in movies and TV and everything, we're made to feel that if you're alone, that there's something fundamentally wrong with you. That's not true. I tell myself that every day. It's not true. There's nothing wrong with me. You know, it's just sometimes you don't meet the right people, or who knows what it is, but it's not me, it's not you, it's something else, you know. So if anything, I don't want to feel myself for myself, and I don't want any of you or anybody else to feel that there's something fundamentally wrong, because there isn't. There isn't. You know, we all put a lot of pressure on ourselves, put a lot of pressure on each other, and at some point that's got to stop at some level, and you know, we should just allow ourselves to be. And it's unfortunate that there's this day that makes, you know, that puts so much pressure on everyone, whether you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship, because there's I can't quote anything directly, but there are spikes on like dating sites right before a holiday that, because I've online dated, I've dabbled in online dating, and usually right before a holiday or a long weekend, they have like free communication weekends, because they know that people are like, oh my God, Christmas is coming, oh my God, Valentine's Day is coming, I gotta find somebody, I gotta get online, sort of thing. So, you know, there is a spike that happens, and then there's I don't know what the term is, but it's that period between Christmas and Valentine's Day where it's like the safe zone to dump someone. So it's like you got through Christmas, maybe you got a nice present or something, and I think it's like mid or early January that you could say, okay, I'm done, and then you have no responsibility for Valentine's Day. So those are just my thoughts and my musings about how this holiday has affected me, and you know, I hope you all had a nice one at least, you know, and a better one to come, and enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you.
Perfect timing.
I wish I had gold stars to give out for like people